guys, welcome back to another video. So I wanted to go a little bit, sorry, the mailman distracted me. I wanted to go in a little bit different of a direction for my channel. So originally I was talking about finances. Now I love finances. See my little dog in the background. I love finances, but I wanted to do a little bit more than that. I wanted to make it a little bit more exciting. So it's going to be a little bit about my life. I'll show house tours. I'll show you the weird pets that I have because I have different kinds of pets and not anything like super exotic because that's out of my, I don't want that. So I'm at my coffee shop now and I was going to get a coffee and breakfast, so I will get back on as soon as I get my food. So I just got done with taking my dog for a walk. I ate my food, got my coffee. I get iced coffee with sugar-free caramel and cream because that's just my favorite. That's what I get every time. So you guys saw a little earlier that I have a Beagle, and I used to say that I would never in my life ever have a Beagle, ever, and here I am. So what happened was a customer, I had a grooming salon before, and one of my customers called me and she's like, hey, I just picked up this dog from a shelter just because I felt bad for him. You know, I went, like, she went there for another dog, I guess, because she saw that shelter posted that this dog needed like a foster home or, you know, a permanent home. So she saw Bug's his name. But she picked him up and she's like, he smells really bad. He's like a disaster. So there he is in the back. So would you be able to give him a bath today? I'm like, sure, why not? I was pretty busy at the time, but I'm like, it's just a Beagle bath, it'll be fine. So I go out to get the dog in her car, and of course I look at him and I'm like, oh my god, that dog is so cute. I love him already. Because he was just in the crate, like, he just had his head down and he was just wagging his tail just a little bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, he seems so sweet. So I didn't tell her right then that I was thinking about taking him, but I brought him in the shop and I told her that I would just call when he was done. And I was texting my husband. I'm like, please, can we get this dog? You know, we already had a boxer mix at the time, but our other little dog passed away. So I was like, can we please get this Beagle? Like, I know that I never said that I always said that I never wanted a Beagle. And Mike is my husband. He's like, I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. We just lost the other dog. I don't really want to like replace it or anything, but you know, I just don't think it's a good idea right now. Well, how he is he basically says no to everything, like right off the bat. And then the more he thinks about it, he's like, all right, I guess it's possible we can think about it. But anyways, he eventually said yes. And I gave him a bath and I noticed he had a skin infection. Because the lady that picked him up at the shelter said that I guess he was like infested with fleas when we got him. But they gave him like a Capstar, which just gets rid of the fleas that are on him, like instantly kills them. So he had a bad skin infection from the fleas because he was, I don't know how long he had him, but he was a mess. So I took him to the vet shortly after I got him, and she gave me antibiotics for his skin, and you know, he got all his regular stuff, and he when we brought him home, he really threw me for a loop because he seemed like so sweet, so calm. I know that, you know, when you first see a dog, especially when it's taken out of a situation that it's not used to, that you're not truly going to know the dog's personality until they get comfortable. But he was a holy terror when we first got him. Now he has all the Beagle tendencies. I've worked with him a lot. He's a lot better than he used to be. But the one good thing about him, though, is he does not bark much at all. I mean, he'll bark very rarely, which is lovely for a Beagle. But when we got him home, I wasn't used to a dog, like, getting into all food that's around him, no matter where it is. Like, even he'd get into things that weren't even edible that he would eat anyways because he's a Beagle. So I seriously was considering, I told Mike, I was like, we need to take this dog back. He's driving me nuts. I wasn't actually serious. I wouldn't do it, but he was driving me insane. So I also wasn't used to a dog that would just, like, obviously, if anybody knows Beagles, they're going to just, the second they're off the leash, they're gone. And they don't give a shit what's around them. They're just gonna go. So he's gotten a lot better at that. He actually knows the boundaries of our yard, and what's impressive is he'll actually, even if there's like a rabbit or anything that he wants to chase, he will chase it super fast and stop dead at the property line. And I have worked with him constantly on that. So that's a plus. But he, like, I wouldn't trade him for the world. I love him to death, but he was just not my typical, he was not a dog that I typically would go for. My boxer mix was, we recently lost her a few months ago, but she was so well behaved. Like, she was the smartest dog. I'm sure everybody says that my dog's the smartest dog, except for me now, because he's the dumbest dog. But my previous dog, Maddie, she was a boxer mix. She, like, I just remember we were on the trail one day and I would take her all the time. I would have her off leash most of the time, except for if anybody like went past us, I hooked her up, and I had her on a leash if any other people or dogs were around. But if nobody was around, like, she would stay with me all the time. And I remember we were walking on the trail, and literally I was like, okay, Maddie, we're going to stop right here. And we stopped and sat on a rock, just, to take a break, because it was like a big hill. I needed a break. So she sat up on the rock with me, and then we proceeded to walk the rest of the trail for like 2 hours after that. When we got back to the rock, she went right to it and got on it. And I'm like, that dog just, you can tell her something one time and she will go back and do that. She'll remember it for the rest of her life. And I truly miss that. But I mean, Bug is sweet, and I do appreciate having him because when Maddie passed, it was extremely hard for me, because she was just, I mean, yes, I love all the dogs that I have, but she was like the most special by far. And I was glad to have him around, though, because, like, he's a cuddler and he could tell I was upset, and he was very sweet. He's good. Like, when I'm upset, he comes up to me and, cuddles and makes me feel better. So I do appreciate that a lot. So yeah, I think that's it for this part. Yeah, I wanted to mention too, I am recording this on a Monday. I am currently not grooming right now, because Monday is kind of like my day, to do, office work. We have, me and my friend Mackenzie have a podcast too, so I do like a lot of the editing on Mondays. I I do this on Mondays now. I get the van deep cleaned on Mondays, and any like paperwork for my mobile grooming van. I'll post some about grooming, but I didn't want to make the whole channel about grooming because, you know, groomers, they do have other things happening in their lives, and I'd like to share with you guys my grooming and my life outside of grooming too. So later on, I will be recording. I'm gonna head home, drive home right now, and then I will record a little bit later too. So see you guys shortly. Okay, so I am home now. I was gonna show you guys, I've been like super into gardening. I started like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago with this little tiny garden. And then my garden started getting bigger and bigger every year because I became like completely obsessed. I never like grew up with anyone that, like, my parents didn't do a garden. Nobody I was around when I was younger had a garden. I ate like super unhealthy when I was younger. But when I was about 17, I was like really heavy, and I was eating terribly, and like I didn't get any exercise whatsoever. And then my grandma offered to pay for a weight loss subscription kind of thing, like where they supply the food for you. So like it's just like microwavable stuff. I mean, it's decent food for what, like, for the program. I wouldn't eat it today because I actually know how to eat now, although I've been not so good about it over the holidays and everything, and I was just hibernating and not really doing that much, and I was not eating the healthiest. But out of high school, I was about 200 pounds. And then I got down to 133 was my lowest. And now I'm back up to like 157. So I need to get back to my lowest. I don't feel like huge right now, but I'm definitely, I want to be healthier with my, like, and honestly, it's not even so much about my weight. It's more about just eating right and getting the right amount of exercise. But I wanted to show you, I'm super into gardening because I try, like, when I eat healthier, I try to eat like as much vegetables as I possibly can. So this is the first year that I've started from seed. I don't know if you guys are really into gardening, but it's interesting even if you don't do it. So I actually have my seeds all over there on the windowsill. Those aren't all of them. So that's like the tray that I started the seeds in, and then I transplanted some of those there, the bigger plants, but some of them are upstairs too. And I actually, I started seeds in that little container that I bought, but I found that it's actually super easy to start seeds in like just whatever container you have. I get like the Starbucks containers a lot. Like the already pre-made like cold coffee from the store, and I just take the label off. And this is actually one that's already completed, but I cut along like the second line up, and I don't cut it all the way around. I leave like a little spot that's still connected so I can open the container and plant like the seeds, and then I can shut it and put the cap on and like duct tape it, and you'll see in there I have things like I planted 3 different things. So basil, parsley, and chives in this, and you can see the one's actually sprouting, like right there, the basil is. But I found that this is like super, super easy to start seeds with because they don't dry out fast in these containers. And I just put it in the room that I have, like I have a closet room set up upstairs, like one of our extra bedrooms. I set up as like my whole closet. I'll give you guys a tour eventually of that. It's pretty cool. I love that room. But I have my lizard up there, and I have like a heater that's always running because he has to have a certain temperature, and it's like perfect for the seeds. But I will show you guys too. I'm just cutting this open now, but I will show you guys too my different animals, but my one lizard is upstairs, and then the other ones we keep in the basement. I mostly have reptiles, and they're pretty awesome, but oh, this was not cutting. But my reptiles mostly consist of snakes, and then I have lizards, ferrets, and one dog. So as a groomer, I only have one dog, and it's short-haired, so I'm kind of lame that way. But I don't want the maintenance of, you know, having to give my dog a haircut all the time. I've been tempted on hiring a groomer to bathe my Beagle before, so that's pretty sad. You know, I love grooming, and I love grooming other people's dogs, but when it comes to my dog, I'm just like, nah, I don't want to. So, yeah, I figured I would talk with you guys while I do this. I already planted pretty much all of my seeds that I want to do for my garden. But since I have these extra containers, why not just plant some extras? So yeah, as you can see, I'm cutting like the second line up almost all the way around. And I'm just excited to do that because garden vegetables, like, they don't compare to the vegetables that you get at the store. They really don't. You can trust them too, that they're truly organic if you don't use any type of pesticide or anything. A lot of the times with bugs, I try to spray like water with a little bit of Dawn dish soap in my watering can, so it typically keeps the bugs away. So I had problems with bugs in the past, but my biggest problem was deer, because there's so many deer around here that literally, like, the snow melted outside, and I was out there, like, it's actually starting to get nice outside, and I was out there walking around, and my yard is completely covered in deer poop everywhere. So they have no fear. They will come up to right against my house pretty much. They'll be just hanging out because they have just no fear. Which I wish they did, because they ate all of my tomatoes last year. And I thought that it was happening overnight. So I try to, I made sure that my light outside in the back came on at night, like, so it would like kind of scare off the deer maybe. Like, if the light came on, they thought that somebody was coming outside. But actually they were doing it like broad daylight, because I was home on a Monday, and I go out there and there's just like a big ass deer just chilling in my garden. So, you know, I shoot him away a little bit and he ran. But this year my husband's building like a big fence, thankfully, because I don't want deer destroying my tomatoes, because you work so damn hard to plant your whole garden, and then to have a deer just like destroy it, it's very, very discouraging. So I'll end the video here on that note. I hope, feel free to subscribe, like this video, comment with any questions or any If you guys want to see anything in particular, like if you're really interested in a house tour, van tour, garden tour when I have a garden, it's not quite nice enough outside. But whatever videos you want to see, I'm definitely open to recording whatever you guys want to see. Thanks, and I will see you next time. Bye.